Hi guys, it's Natalia here again from FW Ministries, and I am back here again with another video for the week. We want to apologise. I know the video should have been uploaded from Thursday, but we've just been caught up with so many other things and it's kind of pushed things back a bit. But the main thing is that we're posting one for this week and everything should be back to normal. We should be back to our weekly postings that come out on a Thursday, so keep looking out for that. We also want to say thank you to those that supported our last video that was dedicated to the young man named Declan Sullivan. This is not for our glory, but it was also showing us from looking at this, not to say it's us, but it showed us that, you know, mental health is a big problem within our community, especially with our young people, with our young adults. It's an issue and a lot of people are being affected by it, whether we ourselves are suffering from it or somebody close to us is suffering from a sort of mental illness. Could be depression, could be schizophrenia, paranoia, psychosis, you know, the list goes on. There is so much mental illnesses out there and so many classifications. You know, you really would have to look that up on the internet. We really couldn't roll all of this out now in this video because it would be too much. The topic today is dealing with mental health. Now, from my experience and from what I can see, when I was growing up, anybody that was seen to have a mental problem that caused their behaviour to change, people would say that they were going mad. And that is a stigma even now, that if a person has a mental sickness that they are mad. But that is not the case. It's easier to diagnose illness such as diabetes. It's easier to say that this person has a broken arm or a broken foot because we can see it physically with our eyes. But our mind is spiritual. So when the mind is broken, that's not something that we can see physically, but we can see that there is an issue because their behaviour begins to change. And I think the whole stigma of somebody being called mad is because of, in past generations, there have been a lack of understanding and a lack of education about mental illness, and so it's been rough. But I think now, in the age and society that we're living in now, there really is no excuse. There is so much support out there available, so much organisations out there that are put specifically in place to help people that are suffering from mental illness and mental problems, whether it be depression or anything else. So we need to deal with it. We need to deal with it as a church because it's going on in our churches right underneath our noses, and we don't realise it's going on within our communities, within our homes, within our schools, colleges, university. And it's because, unfortunately, we're not coping with life. We're not being able to deal with the stresses of life. For some people take on a lot of stress. Some people might have a lot of responsibilities that they need to stand up to, and for some people it's too much. It's okay for those of us that are strong and, you know, are not in a place where we're being affected in our mind, to say that the person needs to snap out of this and the person needs to snap out of their moods. It's not that easy because, you know what, not everybody has the strength, the mental strength to be able to overcome. Some people might need a bit of help. They might need to go and see a professional. They might even need to speak to somebody. I've been seeing over the last week or so, you know, people putting out certain statuses and stuff like that that have suicidal innuendos. Now, for me, that's somebody crying out for help, but they don't really know how to. A lot of the time, unfortunately, when we hear somebody committing suicide and it's close to us, we say that there was no signs, we said there was no signs of them being depressed or down. Now, I'm not speaking from the perspective of somebody who has had mental illness, because I haven't. But I do sincerely believe that there are always signs and there are always changes in a person. They might be subtle, that it's very hard to notice, or they might be big where you can notice. But I think sometimes in life we get so caught up in our own lives and our own business that we fail to see what's going on around us. We fail to see that the people around us really need help, and we brush everybody off to say that they're okay. When was the last time you asked somebody if they're okay, if they was okay, and meant it? And not just saying it because it's just a thing to say. When you ask somebody if they're okay, do you mean it? Do you go out of your way to check on them? Do you go out of your way to see if they need anything? Most of the time we don't. We just get on and do our own thing. And this is what I really want to say, is that we need to take more notice of people around us. If you've got friends or family members that you are noticing are changing, whether it be in their behaviour, you know, they might be doing stuff out of character, or they might isolate themselves. This once outgoing person might no longer be outgoing. Try your best to keep an eye on them. Don't intrude on them. Don't be invasive, but keep an eye on them. Now, this part is for those that actually are suffering from something, or think they might be suffering from something. There are organizations out there that are specifically being put in place to help anybody that's facing these kind of problems. You know, you don't have to go through this alone. You know, God is able to deliver you, and God would have it that these organizations are being set up to help people just like yourself. In my book, the term mad no longer exists. Deal with your problems. Deal with the stress. If you can't face it and you feel like you can't talk to anybody around you, find somebody to talk to. Because this is not a joke. Young people that have their whole life ahead of them are taking their own life. It shouldn't have to come to this. So for those that are listening, you're not mad. There's something that has gone wrong and that has contributed to this problem that you're having now. And it's okay to talk to somebody. It's okay to put yourself in a vulnerable position, but to the right person, not to the wrong person, because if you become vulnerable or appear vulnerable to the wrong person, they can take advantage. But deal with it. The only way that you're going to overcome is by talking about it. So this is my encouragement today, is that we need to take more notice of what's going on around us within our communities. We need to make a stand, and we need to nurture the young people and the young adults around us. In the age of social media, where everything is about image and having money and looking this way and looking that way, it's not easy. A young person that's growing up, 13 and 14 years old, knows nothing about life. They know just what they see around them, and if the images that they are being given are negative and there's pressure to fulfill something that they really can't fulfill, that in itself is going to have an effect on their mental health, and we don't want that. You know, the young people of today are our future, and if everybody is suffering, if everybody has problems and they don't deal with the problems, then what will the generation that is coming after them be like? It can't continue to be a vicious cycle. There has to be a clean up. There has to be a solution. So my solution is go out there and get help. That's how we're going to deal with this problem. Even if you just go to Google and type in organizations that deal with mental health, all of them will come up. Some of them even have phone numbers that are anonymous. You don't even have to tell your name, but talk to somebody, because it's not too late. So this really is us just coming to an end now, and we just want to again just let you all know that we are praying for you, and that a change has to come. I want to thank you again for tuning in, even though we've been delayed. We have so much more coming. Just keep posted. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel as well. We could do with more support, because the more support we get, the better it is for us, and the more people can be helped through this ministry. So God bless you. Have a good night in Jesus' name.